that's fully dried now. Welcome back. I'm just going to start doing some of the panel lines and the recessing and everything, and that to give it a bit of a dirty look. Like I say, this is just something that I do. Not everybody has to do it, but it's part of my technique. It's the way that I get things. Different types of brushes that I use. I use a artist watercolour sable, Winsor and Newton, which is this one here. I've also got a range of the Tamiya brushes as well, for finer detail, and other ones here, which is, I think, yeah, that's another Tamiya one, purely for adding the pastels at a later time. So we'll take the known oil, and I'm just going to basically shut up and let me do this so that I can concentrate, because it's not the, well, I say it's not the easiest thing, but it does need concentration, as he says, and he continues talking. So it doesn't matter if you get too much on there, but it does matter where the actual oil goes. You want it to settle in the right places. Okay. So in effect, do this. I normally do this up close. I'm not sure if this is actually gonna. It should be. I'm probably a bit heavy there actually. I actually need some more of this stuff because I'm running out quite rapidly. So, like I said, it has to settle. I know it looks crude and it doesn't look right at the moment, but I'll have to wait and see. I'm not going to do all of it, so you've got to sit there for hours. I'm just going to do a little bit on here. Used to be an art program quite a long time ago on TV, and there was this old guy that used to draw these landscapes and watercolours, and you could sit there and listen to his voice for ages. And I'm pretty sure you're all sitting there thinking, God, I wish he'd shut up. So no, obviously, likeness there whatsoever, but hey ho. Told you I didn't stop talking. Right, I'm just going to finish off this side, and then I'm going to allow that to dry, so at least you can see, like I said, because the rest of it, once it's all blended in, you won't even notice. Right, don't want too much of a pull there. Bit more in there. Right, lovely. Okay, I'm going to leave that to dry and come back to you in a moment. Right, we're back. Wonders of modern technology. Like I said, go away for a few minutes and it's nice and dry. But then again, I used a hairdryer, so. Right, okay, dry brushing time. Once again, going to be using the silver grey from Vallejo, and as you can see here, all I'm doing is I'm just dipping, you can see that, just dipping the end of the brushing. Okay. Now, it's important that you use kitchen towel and not toilet roll. Toilet roll is very fibrous and fibres will get all over the place. So we use kitchen towel. Now, as you notice, I'm working the brush in, but I'm not taking it all off, okay, because there's two parts to the dry brushing. Okay, first of all, we want to get a basic cover on certain areas. If you don't, you can dry brushing all your hair. Alright, so as you can see, I hope you can, that's starting to do certain areas, and as we carry on, the brush and the paint is actually, I'm eating chocolate by the way, starts to lay the paint as we get further, further and further, and you'll notice that the panels will start to darken more and more, like lighten, sorry, but darken. So we're working that in, working that in. Notice some areas. Now, don't dip your brush straight back into the paint, give it a clean. Get that old paint out and wipe it on your kitchen towel. And next we're going to go for a bit of the foundation white. Once again, taking most of the paint off, and then all we're doing is we're just gently going, tipping the edges. It's not heavy, we're just gently letting the brush do the work. And you'll notice as well, with the paint on there, we're creating a few streaks. Anywhere that's heavy, let's go over it a bit more, like so. Okay, a bit more on the top, and you can be a bit more heavy-handed on the top actually. Just to get that in once again, give that a bit of a clean. If you notice, we're building layers up. That's the whole idea of this. You're building layers up. Okay. Now, once that's dry, we move on to my favourite part, and this is the pastels. Now, with the pastels, got a pastel stick here. Okay. Now, this is not advertising, but it's what I use. It's Faber-and-Castell. If you can see it there, there's 24 tiny little pastels. I've got some from a bigger pack earlier. All right, and if I show you, there's some lovely, lovely colours. All right, all different colours: whites, greens, blues, orange, blacks, purples, you name it. All right, and the one that we're going to be using is this one here. Oh, let me get that in the view. Is that one there? And I've got a bigger one there, and basically we use a sharp knife and we scrape it as such, like so, and what that does is that creates a powder. Now be careful of this stuff because it does get everywhere, so, and then with your brush just put it in, and then all you're doing is you're not rubbing it in, you're just lightly applying it back into those areas and just slightly around the areas, okay, like so. Areas that we know that there be muck and dirt, things that will settle, if you know what I mean. Don't worry about any extra dust or anything like that, because we're going to blow that off later. Don't forget, all we're going to be doing is just you're touching areas. You're not swamping it, as you can see that I'm doing here. I'm just gently placing areas that normal rain, rust, dirt, wherever it goes, and just gently streaming that down. Alright. I go quiet when I concentrate. More in there. And that will do that. Okay, so move that aside. Don't clean that brush because it's only powder. Just keep it away from everything else. And then give you a bigger brush, and I'm doing it off camera, but I'm just getting rid of any bits and pieces. Alright, so, oh, by the way, the fly did fly away, I didn't kill it. And next, we go back to a bit more dry brushing. So, we'll get a brush, make sure it's thoroughly dry. Sorry about my hand going in there. And then once again, we'll get some of our silver grey. Don't forget, you're only putting a little bit on the end of the brush. Move that there. We're getting rid of most of it. We're actually getting rid of a lot of it this time, because you really do want to get this, if you know what I mean, dry. And then we're going over the highlighted areas so it doesn't stand out so much. Alright, and what it's doing is it also drags the dirt, which gives you more of a discoloration. Alright, so that's that. And then go back to our pastels, and this time we use one of the black ones. And once again, all we're doing is we're just softening out these edges here now. Okay. Just working those in. And we've got a grey as well. If anything just gets a bit too dark, just working it in. Like so. Give that another brush off. And back to our paint. And once again, we're working it in to these areas. Now the light actually picks that up. Looking at the camera, actually picks that up quite a lot, but that does blend out. I'm trying to see while I'm looking at the camera to see if I can get that to disappear. Don't worry too much about it. Because we're going to be adding more. Get that bit just underneath there. I'm not sure if you can see that alright. It's amazing actually that the camera picks up compared to what the eyes can see, because the actual what I'm seeing with my own eyes is totally different than what I'm seeing on the camera. So, but hey ho, it's the process that I'm showing you. So, okay, so once that's done, allow that to dry, and then we're going to be moving on to more shading. Okay, welcome back. We're back in the spray booth, and I'm now going to add my secret recipe, which is a mixture of colours, and what this does is it just basically blends over what we've just done. There is lots of processes, but like I said, this is the process that I use, and it just tones things down, but it's a closer match to the whole colour, and it just gets rid of some of the nasty lines, etc. So just keep on adding little bits. I know you probably can't see much going on there, but there is actually, just so that you can see there, and just highlighting certain areas, just taking away some of those rough edges, like so. And then once we've done that, sorry about that, like I said, I'm trying to watch and do 8 things at once here. And as you can see there, fingers crossed, we're getting the colour. Don't forget, I'm only just working on this side at the moment. We can do the other side, but I was going to use a different technique on there. Okay, I've not touched that since last time, so I'm just going to load up the brush now with some stainless steel from Alclad's, and we'll do this side. So airbrush is now loaded up with stainless steel, and we're just going to be doing a couple of the panels, and you'll see why later, although stainless steel. So I'm just trying to do this all in one. You'll notice and the panel actually starts to take shape, but at the same time we're just adding a bit of shading around that in certain areas. And what you'll notice is that the reaction from the stainless steel and the Alclad, when it hits the other paint, it tends to make it go into a darker, which gives it that streak, that dirty streak as such. So that's it, a bit more, get rid of that. As you can see, now one thing I've done, which is very naughty of me, I've not got the fan on, but hey ho, I've sniffed enough of this stuff to make me go mad for the next 20 years. So be back in a minute, just after I've cleaned the airbrush and got off of cloud 1.